I'm a little late to the party because it was Derby weekend in Louisville, but Dez Bryant, he found out real quick that HBCU alums and supporters don't play about HBCUs. Let's talk about it after the bumper. This was interesting over the weekend. My people, what is good, my people? What is good, my people? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. Now, if you've been living under a rock or if you were busy all weekend with Kentucky Derby festivities like myself, you may have missed the interactions between Dez Bryant and some of our favorites over on Twitter. Like some of our favorite people was getting up under Dez's skin when it came to his thread and his talks on HBCUs. Now, like I said, if you've been living under a rock, Dez Bryant put out this initial tweet, and I'm going to show you the initial tweet and how it all came about. So this was the tweet that kind of sparked everything, but what kept it going was Dez himself. Dez Bryant, the former All-Pro, Pro Bowler, NFL receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, he had this to say in regards to HBCUs and the NFL draft and different things like that. Let's take a look. So this is a tweet directly from Dez Bryant's Twitter. It says, this is just a random thought, unprovoked. This is just what he thought. He says, in order for a HBCU to thrive, you are going to have to throw these colleges into big conferences like the Big 12, the Pac 12, the ACC, SEC, etc., and allow these colleges to get better over time. Let's keep it real. Now, a lot of people took offense, one, just by the verbiage, like these colleges, these people, like, oh, look at those people over there. It almost like a bougie Negro talking about like a house Negro talking about a slave Negro, a field Negro. It's like the verbiage just kind of came off real abrasive, right? Like people took direct disrespect from this initial tweet that kind of sparked everything. Now, what got Dez into trouble? See, this tweet I didn't think was terrible. It just kind of was like, okay, Dez is a little janky on the wording. I'm not really feeling, how you kind of laid that out. Wasn't really the best way to lay it out, and you're just thinking blindly. Obviously there's stipulations and different things that you have to do just to get to that level, but it's not just that easy. You just snap the finger and any HBCU can end up in any of those conferences that you named. But what took it to the next level, I don't even know if it was necessarily that tweet. That was just the tweet that kind of sparked it. But what took it to the next level was Dez Bryant's ignorance on some more serious when we got to the conversation. So this was a response that someone had to Dez. He says, no, LMAO, they need more state funding, which is true. Meaning they meaning the HBCUs need more state funding, which is a fact. Like it's been proven numerous of times, the way that different states across this country purposely withheld funding that was supposed to be delegated to different HBCUs across the country. Talking about TSU, Tennessee State, owed over $500 million by the state of Tennessee, et cetera, et cetera. Then we can go on and on for days about that. So that is a fact. It says they need more state funding. Nothing to do with conferences they play in. Now, part of that's true, right? The state funding is owed to them. It's like reparations being owed to Black Americans. This is, no matter what, anything else, the first part is true. They are owed state funding. HBCUs have been historically disproportionately underfunded by state governments across the country on purpose. So that is a fact. Now, those two are two totally separate things. He said, attend an HBCU before assuming what will help them thrive. This was a valid response. Now, Dez, this is where he got in trouble. Hold on. I liked some of these tweets so I could see them. And so then, see, like I said, he doubled down on stupidity. Instead of asking questions, instead of getting the information that he need, instead of talking to someone like a Dr. Cavill or like just anyone with any kind of knowledge, this particular topic, he just doubled down on dumb. He says, you sound dumb. No, that tweet didn't sound dumb. That tweet was completely accurate. How do you think these colleges get state funding, smart guy? Well, they get it because the states give it to them. Has nothing to do with athletics. By having great players. So Dez Bryant thinks that state funding, Dez Bryant thinks that having great athletes is how you get state funding. Let me repeat that. Dez Bryant thinks that having great athletes is how you get state funding. I hate to break it to you, buddy. This is not how that works. Well, let's keep reading. By having great players, better conference play. If you ain't prime, you ain't getting no top recruits to play at no HBCU. That's also a problem. You shouldn't be advocating for top players not to go to HBCUs. You should honestly do with your power. If you love HBCUs as much as you say you do, you said you would have attended one if you didn't play football, which that's neither here nor there. But you should be advocating to help those HBCUs get top players, even if their name isn't prime. Top players bring in top dollars for these universities. Now, that part is true, but once again, these are two separate things, Dez. State funding, HBCUs have been historically underfunded, purposely underfunded. Getting top players, yeah, for football, it funds everything, right? Alabama, as a university, is able to fund all of their other sports because of Alabama football. Same with Georgia, same with LSU, same with whatever. But that has nothing to do with what the state owes these different institutions. That has nothing to do with what the state owes these academic institutions. It has nothing to do with athletics. State funding is not based off athletics. But you double down on stupid. Instead of asking questions, instead of getting the proper help, instead of telling people, like asking like, yo, vetting your information, you just went out there and put out a bold, wrong statement. And the problem with that, Dez, by putting out that bold, wrong statement, is that you have over 3 million followers. 3 million followers that will probably never see a broadcast like this, or probably never watch She Loves These broadcasts. And she was on his top, by the way. She was not. That's why I said friends of the show. She Loves Thee. Shout out to Timona, because Timona let Dez have it. Timona was on Dez's neck throughout these entire interactions. But when you put out something wrong like that, most people won't fact check you, and they'll take that as gospel. Man, Dez Bryant said they're not getting the state funding because they got bad players. He's right. They should get bad. Because you know why they'll think that? Because clearly somebody said that and you believed it. You didn't fact check it. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. And really, he did all of that to get to this point. Hold on. Let me this is what he did, all of that to get to this point. It all circled back to this point. So to kind of give you some background information, obviously when the NFL draft happened, Deion Sanders said he was ashamed that only one HBCU player was drafted. Said there were 3 more players from Jackson State. It should have been more than one HBCU player. Will McClay, who works for the Dallas Cowboys, says, gave his reasons why he thought he disagreed with Deion, and he gave his reasons why he believes only one HBCU player was drafted. And this is the point I think Dez wanted to get to all along. And he says, Will McClay speaking facts. It's hard to grade talent from an HBCU because of the talent pool there. The lack of support and players willing to play at an HBCU. Okay. It's a reason, here we go. Prime took himself, his son Shedeur Sanders, and Travis Hunter to Boulder for better opportunities and exposure, which is clearly understandable. People be trying to have good press, but be contradicting themselves. Make it make sense. Now, I think this was kind of a shot at Deion Sanders. But no, I doubt it. Him and Deion are probably tight, so I doubt he was trying to do that. But he kind of did it on accident. But he's telling you he is wanted to give a reason why Deion left. and he wanted to kind of show that Deion's not a bad guy. He left HBCUs because he wants a better opportunity for Shedeur and Travis. I think that was the whole point of him tweeting out about HBCUs in the NFL draft anyway. I think literally his whole entire point was to get to this right here. And Dez, sir, you could have just said that from the jump. You didn't have to try to make some fake declaration, some fake thing, almost like you were trying to care about HBCUs when you just made a buffoon of yourself. Dez, dog, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, just say that you think the talent needs to be better. But instead of saying, oh, HBCUs need to jump to this conference and state funds better players at better conferences, say, hey, guys, ask a question. Ask a question. Be like, yo, this HBCU thing, them not getting drafted, it concerns me. What do you all think should be the resolution? What do you all think we should do to help HBCUs in this case? And then you would have got suggestions, like real legitimate suggestion from real legitimate people. And I had to throw this tweet out because I wasn't able to see all the interactions. But while this was happening, I was like, yo, Dez Bryant should have just left the HBCU talk alone. He clearly had no idea what he was talking about. That was evident. That was evident. He had no idea what the hell he was talking about. Like none at all. Now, there was some people, or one person in particular, let me see if I can find his tweet, that kind of responded to me and was like, yo, I mean, Dez, HBCU people feel a certain kind of way. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Here it is. Let me go ahead and show this tweet because this is kind of like a bad faith talking point. It says, or folks, ignorant and sensitive AF. Men just trying to start a dialogue and y'all took it left field per usual. This is not true at all. He wasn't trying to start a dialogue. He was saying something he just knew nothing about. It's one thing to place it in a question form. Like, hey, do you guys think if the HBCUs went to the Big 12 or the SEC or something like that, that would help the draft stock? Or what do you guys think that would help get guys drafted more from HBCUs? Like, what can we do? What can I do with my 3 million followers and my millions of dollars and my name that is Dez Bryant, a well-respected name in the NFL or whatever, throughout league circles or whatever? What can we do to kind of help bolster the thing? Instead, it was just like, we just need to throw them in there. They're going to be getting their ass kicked for a little bit, but, just growing pains. No. They'll get more funding if they get better players. No. The only person that could get good players at those schools is Prime. And no. Those are that is none of that is constructive. None of that is beneficial. All of that is detrimental. None of that helps. Prime took his players and his team because he needed a better opportunity. Okay, like none of that is beneficial. And so I was like, he was uninformed. He should have asked questions, not make big, bold, wrong statements. And then this guy said, according to y'all HBCU folks, can't nobody who ain't graduated from an HBCU have an opinion about an HBCU. That simply isn't true. And I had to tell him, I was like, yo, I do all the time. And you guys know, I didn't go to an HBCU. I didn't graduate from an HBCU. But what you guys also understand is that I have love for the HBCUs, just like I have love for my people, meaning black people. And the problem a lot of HBCU alums have and HBCU supporters have is just like a lot of Black America, you get thrown under the bus all the damn time. And they're just tired of it. They're like, yo, okay, when folks talk foolishness about us, for years we just took it on the chin. Took it on the chin. To hell with that. Y'all folks ain't just about to keep talking about us and we not going to stand up for ourselves. So we don't care if you're Dez Bryant. We don't care if you're Uncle Luke. We don't care if you're Deion Sanders. We don't care if you're DeAndre Sanders. We don't care who you are. If you throw dirt on our name, we have every right to defend ourselves, whether that's virtually, whether that's online in Twitter spaces, on YouTube comments, whatever. We are going to now defend ourselves. We're not just going to take whatever you say and take it as gospel. Because guess what? We're going to have a stance about us and about ours. Now, if you have some constructive criticism, if you have something that's beneficial, if you're trying to help in the long run and not just criticize with no solutions, then to hell with you, and we'll get right with you. But if you have some solutions, if you're looking to help, if you're looking to benefit us, if you're trying to make things better, then by all means, go right ahead. But if you're just looking to try to throw smut on our name, throw dirt on our name, act like we can't defend ourselves anymore, nah, man, you can kick rocks with that. And that it's my girl Yard Talk. She loves D. Doctor, the lady that's the doctor from Howard. Like, yo, they all was at Dez's neck. They were all on Dez's neck. And it's like, yo, if you want to be ill-informed, if you want to be ignorant, if you want to do all the goofiness, man, take that goofy stuff over there. And guess what? We want all the smoke with all the goofiness. We want all the smoke with all the goofiness, because you're not just going to be able to say whatever you want about our institutions, say whatever you want about our athletics, say whatever you want about what we got going on, and think we ain't going to have nothing to say. Kanisha Hall, Dr. Kanisha Hall, Howard alum. So, Dez found that out real quick. And so did the guy that was up under my stuff. And I applaud it, because you guys know I'm B1. I'm black first, always and forever. That's why me and this HBCU thing just go hand in hand. Because a lot of times the Boule class, and this is not to talk bad about Dez, but Dez, he's a millionaire black man. And a lot of times some of those Boule class, the millionaires, they forget where they come from, or they forget what other black folks are struggling with, right? And a lot of times in a lot of these discussions online, HBCUs is just a microcosm from black Americans or black people, right? And so when people try to throw dirt on HBCUs, it's just like trying to throw dirt on black people. And when the HBCUs stand up for their organizations, stand up for their universities, stand up for their athletic programs, it's just like black folks standing up for black folks. And me being B1, black first, I'm always with it. I'm always with you when you're right. And they were dead right in this situation, and Dez Bryant was dead wrong. So, there's that. Leave your thoughts in the comments. The HBCU alum supporters take their stance against Dez Bryant and shoot back like none other before. And trust me, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. So Dez Bryant, you better take a chill pill and better pick up a book and make a phone call. You hear me? because we ain't going nowhere. And that is what it is. Leave your thoughts on everything in the comments down below. Leave your thoughts on everything in the comments down below. Once again, my name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you get your comment. Do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button before you get out of here. Like, share, and subscribe if you like this type of content. Also, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JLightsy7. That is on Twitter and Instagram at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Peace.